Hi there, I'm Ms. Bassett, and I'd like to welcome you this year to my Harry Potter themed classroom. I wish I could have your students with me personally instead of virtually, but I'm really excited this year to be working with them, even in an online environment. So far, everyone I've met seems really wonderful. Um, so, to tell you a little bit about myself, I have a degree in English and professional writing from Arcadia University. I'm currently working on my master's degree in curriculum and instruction at UNLV. I have experience as a writer and editor in the marketing industry for many years, working with publishing companies and magazines and nonprofits. Um, Before I got into teaching when I was living in Washington, D.C., and then I taught high school in um, Nevada, and now I'm finally teaching eighth grade. This is my second year at Durrell. I taught eighth and ninth grade last year, but I just have eighth grade this year. Um, as a full-time student myself at UNLV, I know how hard it can be to be a student, especially in these online times. So I'm fully prepared to work with your students through any issues that they are having. My goal as a teacher, as an English teacher, I would love to instill a love for reading and writing in your students, but my ultimate goal is to help prepare them to be better communicators. I think it's so important, written communication, verbal communication, being able to read and understand the things that they are encountering in the world around them is really crucial for them to be successful in no matter what career or path they choose to go down in the future. So that is my goal as a teacher. Again, I'm so excited to work with your students. For those of you who are still watching, a little bit more about my class, my policies, and what your students are going to be learning this year. The number one rule in my class is for students to always do their best. I think it's really important for them to recognize that their best is going to vary from day to day, but I always want them to be trying and putting in as much effort as they possibly can. With this in mind, their grades are really up to them. I do offer extra credit assignments for them to boost grades. I do accept late work up until a week before the end of the quarter. And I also let students revise their writing assignments as many times as they want to until they are happy with what they've written and happy with the grade they've received. So I always tell students their grades are really in their hands, and it's going to be up to them and the amount of work that they want to put in this quarter and this year in general, how they do and how successful they are in English class. Something else that is also a policy in my class is for students to self-advocate. So it's really important. Again, I'm trying to teach them to be good communicators, be successful, be able to talk to anybody they encounter in their life, whether it's personally or professionally, being able to advocate and stand up for themselves and the things that they need as students is really important. So if your students have questions about anything, any materials, any assignments, they're having trouble, they have concerns, please encourage them to be the ones to contact me. I'm happy to help no matter who contacts me, if it's a student or a parent or guardian, but I really would like students to learn how to become better communicators, and the only way they can do that is through practice. So students can contact me via the Remind app or via email. As a parent or guardian, you can contact me via email if you have larger concerns about your student's education, if there are circumstances going on with your family, or with a student that I need to know about, you think are important, please tell me. So you can always contact me if there are those concerns, but for the little things, please make sure your students are the ones reaching out. In terms of some nitty gritty details about my class, we're going to be studying 4 separate texts this year. So they are on my slide. You can take a look. The first one we're doing in quarter 1 is called Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler. This is a wonderful book. It is a dystopian story that centers on a young teenage girl who is a hero. This is her hero's journey. It's really interesting, and it segues perfectly into our second book of the quarter, or for quarter 2, which is actually Legend by Marie Lu. This is also a dystopian story, and in Unit 2, we're going to be studying dystopia versus utopia. So Unit 1 is heroism, and then Unit 2 is dystopian and utopian worlds. Unit 3 is Holocaust fiction and nonfiction. So we're going to be looking at a lot of different true stories and also fictional stories. And our book that we're going to be studying is called The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. So that is our third book of the year. And then for Unit 4, our final unit, we're doing Shakespeare. So this is No Fear Shakespeare, A Midsummer Night's Dream. This edition happens to have both English and the original Shakespearean text. So I would highly recommend getting this one. But it's totally up to you if you already have a copy of the play. And our fourth unit, the one that we're studying, this comedy by Shakespeare for, is our humor unit. So ending the year on a high note with some humor. So those are the 4 books that will need to be purchased this year. If you have any concerns, you can contact me about it. Please remember this online learning experience. It's new for your students. It's new for all the teachers. We're all sort of learning and growing and trying to do this better. So if your students have issues with any of the technology we're using, whether it's Google Classroom or Zoom or Flipgrid or anything, any new technology that is being shared, I'm always trying to use the most helpful tools for students. So if they have any issues, they can always reach out to me. If you have any issues or concerns, you can contact me as well. The best way to reach me is via email. My email is on my slide here. It's also, you can contact me through the school website, through my page on the school website if you need to get in touch with me. And that's it. So I think we're going to have an awesome year. I'm really excited to be working with your students this year. And I can't wait for what's to come. Okay, bye.